Because if you go piss like a puppy, stay on the porch and let the big dogs eat.
What is up, my Sabronis? Another episode, another week of amazing college football, amazing NFL games have passed. Here we are into another new week of it. Excited to talk about, just some of the big games this week. Talk some Ohio State, kind of a Ohio State focused segment that we got going on. Looking at some really good NFL games this upcoming week, and then kind of end with a recap of, what my preseason predictions were for the NFL. I'm really excited to kind of dive back into those and see where was I right, where was I wrong, and where was I okay on some of those picks. So really focusing on football on this one. Not a lot of great basketball to start the year. And the NBA is where it's at with its intro weeks. The first few games, first few months, kind of slow sometimes. I do enjoy watching it. It's just been a matter of that real commitment to it. I pay attention to what I can, but it's not the most important sport going on right now. College basketball has started back up again. Just don't get into college basketball as much as when I was a kid. But, we do love college basketball. But right now, we are a football-focused show. We are a football-first show. But before we start, just got a few things, few housekeeping things. Kelly still hasn't made the logo, but very soon, very soon, getting some of those out. Also, we got our first guest coming up in 2 weeks. Not going to spoil who it is, but it's going to be an exciting time. Listen, if you've listened to some Sabo podcasts before, you know who this person is. It's going to be exciting. It's going to be fun. I'm really happy. Looking forward to getting first guest on. And then shortly after that, as the high school football season comes to a close, whenever that is, guests a little bit easier. I won't be recording this at 11:58 p.m. on a Wednesday night going to a Thursday, so I can upload it Thursday morning. But it's okay. It's okay. We're excited for it. We're happy about it. It's gonna be a good time. Let's just really let's end this intro. By the way, do you guys miss the intro music? Because if you don't like it, I won't ever put it back. But if we need the intro to keep it going after we end this, then we get right into the talk, I can bring it back or try to work on something, find something that's a good happy medium. But anyway, let's stop with all the chit chat and let's get into it, guys. It's simple. College football is at a peak right now. We're getting close to the end of the season. We're getting close to the point where rivalry weekend's going to be here, conference championship game is going to be here, and we're going to know who's in the playoffs. And every week, they kind of do this big playoff reveal of who's in, who's out at this moment. The season we're in today, but the season doesn't end today. And Ohio State had one game last week versus Purdue, the first time they didn't cover all season. We're going to talk about that a little bit more in a second. Indiana really struggled with Penn State, and I don't think it's a knock on Indiana. I think Penn State played really well at home. They needed a win. They haven't gotten one since James Franklin's been fired. That was their first big opportunity to really get that. And Indiana showed out, and they showed up. Indiana beat Illinois by more than what Ohio State did. Ohio State beat Penn State by more than what Indiana did. Those are the top two teams in college football this year. Indiana, Ohio State right now are bar none above everybody else. And then Texas A&M, then Bama. I still think Bama has opportunities to lose this year. And sure, Ohio State could lose to Michigan. I know that. We'll cover that in a few weeks. But right now, the way they're playing, they're not going to lose because Michigan's better than them. They're going to lose because they play a dog crap game. And then, again, we will kind of cover that point and those thoughts when we get there. But right now, through 9 games, Ohio State being 9-0 is the best team in college football. There's no debate. There should never be a debate about it on any of these football shows right now. Ohio State is in a class of their own. Ohio State, there's no one close to them right now. So with the focus of Ohio State being in class of their own, Ohio State being the best team in the country, I've been wanting to do this. I've been wanting to introduce this segment. I want to do a Top 10 Thursday. My goal is to do a Top 10 Thursday list every single week. I have put out on TikTok and Instagram, if you are on those, a little post talk about Top 10 Thursday. Okay, give my Top 10 Thursday a look at for me. Go comment what you want your top 10s to hear. Okay, I've only got one comment on my top 10 Thursday post, and it was my wife. Okay, she wanted to know my top 10 fast food restaurants. Yeah, I'll do that later on, Kelly. Okay, right now it's football season mode. We're doing top 10 football Thursdays. Okay, so this top 10 Thursday, this first top 10 Thursday, we're doing top 10 players on this year's Ohio State roster. Not all time, not this decade, not in the last 2 years. This year, best top 10 players on Ohio State's roster. this is just who I feel like just makes the biggest impact every single week. So number 10 is Sonny Styles, the Blocko man. He's the captain. He's the leader. He's a playmaker on this team. He's easily a standout player every single game. And if it wasn't for Arvell Reese, like he'd be the best linebacker on our team. Sonny Styles is an absolute dog. Number 9, Jermaine Matthews. I just love Jermaine Matthews and just where he has shown up and started to make some really big plays. Remember, big-time players make big plays in big-time games, and lately he's showing out. He's really showing off, and expect him to make big plays for us late in the season when we get to the big games, the playoff games. Jermaine Matthews Jr., absolute dog. Austin Servelt, the big 6'7". He's oh my God, that was lame. He's protecting Julian's blind side. He anchors a very productive offensive line this year. I think he's just been the standout. He's been the guy that you didn't expect to be one of the best guys on this O-line. He has. Servelt, absolute dog. Number 7, Caden Curry. Just been such a great pass rusher. You know, a guy that he a rotation in the last few years, you know, behind JTT last year, behind Sawyer last year. He's a guy that, you know, has earned himself definitely like being a starter in this rotation, and he's on the field. It feels like every single play, and every single time there's somebody wrapping their arms around the quarterback, Caden Curry's in there. He does his job. He does it really well. Caden Curry, an absolute dog. Caden McDonald, he man in the middle on that D-line. He's a wrecking ball. He shuts down every single run play. It feels like every single time you run the ball, he's right there. He's shutting down for a guy like the nose tackle shouldn't be in as many plays as he is, especially in the run game. He's filling those gaps for the linebackers to be able to make the plays. He's in there. He's making the tackles. It's him every single time. Caden McDonald is an absolute dog. Number 5, Carnell Tate. I mean, the thing that makes Carnell so good, and this is his argument, is why he's the 5th best player on this roster, and it's not even a knock on him as being number 5. If he was wide receiver on any other team, in college football, he would be wide receiver 1. There's no doubt in my mind. Carnell Tate would be the best receiver on any other single team in college football. Carnell Tate is an absolute dog. Arvell Reese, the best OSU linebacker by far. He could be the best defensive end. When he wants to rush, when he blitzes, when he hits that gap, he hits it hard, he hits it mean, he hits it nasty. He could probably play running back. He could probably play wide receiver, tight end, tackle. He could play corner if you needed. Man, if Stan gets hurt, Keenholz isn't the guy. You put Arvell Reese in there, I guarantee he make a big play. Arvell Reese is an absolute dog. Sayan is my number 3rd best top 10 player on Ohio State roster. Right now, so far, he's like the most accurate quarterback in a season in college football history. There's no doubt that he goes out there and he just makes play after play. He scrambles when he needs to. He's shown that he can move. He can use his legs when he needs to. But he roams. He finds guys and he throws balls. And he throws balls on an absolute line. He throws darts. He throws missiles. He's got great receivers around him to make those great plays. He's got good offensive line. But Julian Sayin is so accurate. He's so good. He's the leader in the Heisman race, or second in the Heisman race, or third in the Heisman race, wherever you put him, Jeremiah Smith, and then Mendoza right now. But he's up there. He deserves to be in that race. Julian Sayin is an absolute dog. Number 2 is Caleb Downs. Listen, Caleb Downs isn't the best safety ever. He's not the safety that's taken away every single play. He's not a ball hawk. He's not Ed Reed. He's not a headhunter. He's not Ryan Clark. He's not Sean Taylor. But when it comes to being the smartest safety I've ever seen, he's in the right spot every single time. You watch any pre-play, he's pointing at guys, he's yelling at guys, he's putting guys in the right spot. He knows that defense. Probably the only other person that knows it better than him is Patricia, the DC. Caleb Downs is the smartest safety I've ever seen. Have you guys ever watched that movie, Everything, Everywhere, All at Once? Great movie. Absolute great movie. I literally put this down on there for him. Everything, Everywhere, All at Once. Great movie. Honestly, I put it in my top 5, top 10 greatest movies of all time. Just an absolute amazing movie. Go watch that if you've never seen it. Everything, Everywhere, All at Once. That's Caleb Downs. Caleb Downs is an absolute dog. And then obviously Jeremiah Smith, the best player in college football, best receiver in college football. There's bar none, nobody better than him as a sophomore. The plays that he makes, the explosiveness that he has, he can take any play, turn into a touchdown, any single point. It seems like he gets the ball less than he did last year as a freshman, but he's really on pace to have better yards, more catches, more yards, more touchdowns, all those things. He's going to set every single Ohio State receiving record in 3 years. records that guys took 4 or 5 years to be able to get. Jeremiah Smith is going to get in 3. He might be a Heisman winner before it's all said and done. 2-time national champion maybe before it's all said and done. Maybe 3. Who even knows what next year looks like? Let's not get too far ahead of ourselves. But Jeremiah Smith is the best player in college football, which makes him easily the easiest pick ever. The number 1 player on Ohio State's roster. Jeremiah Smith is an absolute dog. All right, what a fun 6 minutes. I really, I love lists. Like, you guys have heard episodes before, I love lists. I love making lists. I think lists are fun. Lists are easy. Lists are a good way for me to kind of sort my brain and share my thoughts and do all those cool, fun things. And so please, please, please give me what you want your top 10 list to be. Tell me what you want to hear from a top 10 list. I'm not trying to bore with super long episodes. So as we can get through these segments, we'll just get through them. Really, the biggest thing for college football, the rest of this episode is just focusing on the big games, and there are a lot of really big games. It was really hard to narrow down because there's some unranked games that are really, really good. But right now we're focused on those games that affect the playoff picture the most, and I think these ones that we've chosen affect the playoff picture the best. So here are our college football games of the week for a beautiful, beautiful weekend of college football on Saturday, November 15th. And you know what? We even got a Friday, November 14th game on here. Friday night game, Clemson at 20 Louisville. Does Clemson really get a 5th loss already? I really believe this can happen. I think they could go to Louisville. They could beat Louisville. They really can. They played inspired against Florida State. That was a game I didn't think they were going to win. But going to Louisville Friday night under the lights, can they get their 5th loss? Yes. I'm going to say Louisville does beat them, and Clemson's going to go into with 2 weeks left in the regular season with 5 losses. I mean, they lose the last 2. I know they're going to have South Carolina. They probably have Citadel or something next week, I bet. But as we get closer and closer, they might finish 5-7, 6-6. I'd be really surprised if they win out and don't lose any more games, and one of those losses comes this week. Next, number 9 Notre Dame at number 22 Pitt. This is the first college game day at Acrisure. Heinz Field. It's Heinz Field. It's always going to be Heinz Field, but it's Acrisure now in 20 years. Notre Dame is a 12.5-point favorite. Pitt's been a feel-good story. Ever since they benched their quarterback and have started the new guy, they haven't lost a game. Their 2 losses were to West Virginia and somebody else early on. Yes, Pitt still has a chance to make the playoff. They win the ACC they're in. If they win this game, that they really put themselves in a great spot. But I just don't think they do. I think Notre Dame's that good. I think Notre Dame knows if they win out, they're in the playoffs. They know that they have to come into to Acrisure, to Heinz. They're going to get it done. They're 12.5-point favorites. I think they cover. It might be close for a little bit, but Notre Dame gets it done and covers. Next, 24 South Florida heads to 7-2 Navy. Guys, the winner of this is vying for that last playoff spot. Remember, it's not group of 5. It's top 5 conference champs, but the American Conference is going to give that team. And South Florida and Navy both are still in position to be the team that wins the American and deserves that spot. They're going to get that last playoff spot. USF has been the best group of 5 team all year. Right now that continues. I think Navy plays them tough, but South Florida finds a way, gets it done. Number 11, Oklahoma at 4 Bama. It's not quite elimination for both. Oklahoma needs it. If Oklahoma has 3 losses, they're done. Bama doesn't. They can lose this game, but if they lose it, what it does to the SEC playoff picture, or the conference picture to get teams in the conference championship, really becomes murky. And then Bama is on again, it's you lose 2, then you lose a third, you're done. And Bama doesn't have the hardest schedule the rest of the way. This is that last big one for them. But who knows what happens with Auburn? It's a rivalry game. You've seen it with Ohio State, Michigan over the last few years. Auburn has got theirs against Bama before, so it's not like it's completely out of the picture. But I just think that going into Bama, it's going to be a dogfight the entire time. Oklahoma got them last year in Norman. I just think Bama at home prevails. The spread's only 5.5. I think Bama gets it done. Bama wins by the 5.5. Next, we have a really fun Big Ten game. We have 21 Iowa heading to Southern California, playing at 17 USC. I think USC is, and I think they can be a playoff team. They're going to win. If they win out, they still have Oregon on the schedule. So they win out, they are in. This is a must-win for them. Iowa with the 3 losses, it's really hard to justify them having any shot. They know that they can play spoiler the rest of the way for teams. They almost did last week with Oregon. That gave them their 3rd loss. At home, I think they survive an Iowa scare. I do think Iowa plays them close, But I think at the end, USC finds a way to win at home. USC is a good team. They're going to find ways to give themselves an opportunity at least to continue on and be in the playoff picture, in the playoff conversation. Next, we have the Ohio State game. UCLA at one Ohio State. Hey, there's rumors or there's over Twitter. It's probably not going to happen, but UCLA maybe playing with wearing their blue uniforms, Ohio State wearing the scarlet. Be a really cool matchup at night. 7 p.m. game for Ohio State, NBC. Last week against Purdue was the first game that they didn't cover all season. They're 32.5 points favorite over UCLA. Beginning of the year, UCLA, I would have said yeah. But UCLA has played better since they fired their coach. Obviously, they had the win over Penn State. Since then, they've played more inspired. I think the Bucks win, and they win by a lot, but they just don't win by that much. 32.5 is really, really, really a lot to ask a team to be able to cover consistently week after week after week. I just don't see it getting done this week, but they still win by a lot. Next is the game of the week. 10 Texas at 5 Georgia. Man, I hate both these teams. I really do. I really, really do. This is the same as OU and Bama. Like, Georgia is not eliminated with a loss, but it feels like they need to win this one. Texas is eliminated with a loss, so they're fighting for their lives. I think Georgia's fraudulent. I think that Georgia should have 2 or 3 losses all throughout the season, and I think Texas is better than the 2-loss record. Like, they lost to Ohio State, and they should not have lost to Florida. The fact of the matter is that they did, and since then they have played much better. Arch Manning has played better. The defense is still unreal, one of the best defenses in the country. They haven't beat Georgia since they've been in the SEC. They lost to them last year in regular season, lost them in the Big Ten or SEC championship game. Being at Georgia is really tough, but I think Georgia's not good. It's not about Texas being really good. It's about Georgia not being good on this one. I think that Georgia has Texas come there. Texas goes to Georgia. Texas beats Georgia, finally beats Georgia, finally beats Kirby Smart. Sark and Texas get that win. Finally, my upset alert, my lock of the week, my upset alert. Listen, I called Miami a few weeks ago. I called them going to SMU. I called it being a close game, and I called SMU losing. This week, it's at home, but they have NC State coming to town. NC State has played a lot of teams really, really hard this year. NC State has been very competitive with a lot of teams. I'm not saying that NC State wins outright, but 15.5 is a lot for a team with Carson Beck as their quarterback, a lot for a team that has struggled within the last few weeks. Give me NC State to keep it close and watch out at the end of the game. And then my lock of the week is North Texas. They're 8-1 in the American. They are also fighting for that Group of 5 spot. They win out. They have a chance. They're in the American Conference Championship game. You win that, you're that 5th best conference champ. They're playing UAB. The spread, it's 18.5. Like, I think North Texas, they want to put up style points. They want to show that they are one of those best teams. They want to get in, be ranked, hammer it in, and start putting some respect on North Texas to win that playoff or win that conference and get in to the college football playoff as that last team. All right, that's our college football picks of the week. I mean, that's where we are with college football. It's a fun week. Like, I'm really looking forward to this week. Really looking forward to what the playoff picture looks like after this week is over, especially with those SEC games being what they are. USC, if they lose, it really just kind of opens up the Big Ten. It's a Oregon, Indiana, Ohio State, and that's it. I mean, there's no other team that really has a chance. Obviously, we went through last week the teams that do. Michigan's still in that conversation, but they got to win some games. They got to beat Ohio State at the end. They're fighting for a playoff spot. So the SEC, though, is able to kind of eliminate some teams this week. So really excited, really looking forward to these games. And if YouTube TV and ESPN can get their crap together, we should be able to watch these games on YouTube TV like normal. Rumor is swirling through the Twitterverse, through the Facebookverse, through the TikTokverse, wherever you get your news, that it's getting close, that sides are coming together. Hopefully we get some soon. Before we transition to the NFL, okay, this is something that I'm very proud to do. We're going to take a quick break. We're going to do our first ad read. Don't worry, we're not selling out this podcast that 15 people listen to. We're not doing ad reads for a bunch of companies that aren't paying us a dime. Actually, we are doing an ad read for a company that doesn't pay me a dime, but that company is my wife's Kindle company, something she's taken a lot of time, she's taken a lot of pride in. She's done a great job of getting this set up, and so I am asking you to check out her on Facebook at Olive Moon Candle Co. She's got a website that's coming very soon, and as soon as that website is up, she's going to have orders that are going to get ready. If you are a young high school kid, high school football player, somebody that I know or don't know, and you're listening to this, and you got a mom, you got a girlfriend, you got a grandma in your life that loves some candles, check out Kelly's Facebook page. That way, as soon as the website is launched and ready, you can go in and place your order. Those orders are going to be ready for Christmas time, okay? Great Christmas gift for your mom, for your grandma, for your wife, for your girlfriend. I know what I'm going to get my wife for Christmas, and that's a candle from her own company. I'm going to go downstairs in the basement and probably, take an extra one. But great gift. Check it out. Get that thing. Find her on Facebook. Follow it. Like it. That way, as soon as the website is ready, you are able to buy and purchase and have that gift for Christmas. And remember, $1 goes back to animals in need for every candle that's sold. So if you hate animals, don't buy. If you love animals, well, this is your opportunity to save them, to give back, to help those animals in need, while again also giving your grandma, your mom, girlfriend, wife, whoever, a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful Christmas gift, and supporting somebody that does a great job, great person, somebody that I love dearly. And I'm really, really, really excited that Olive and Moon Candle Co. is the official sponsor of the Sabo Standard podcast. I mean, that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool if you ask me. Look at that, our first ad read. I mean, that's amazing. We've come a long way in our 12, 11, 10 episodes that we posted. Finally have an official sponsor. Hey, we really are working on things on this podcast to make it better. I'm taking time. It's hard. It's hard. But I appreciate you guys who are listening. If you remember, say it every week. If you love this, if you support it, if you're listening, if you made it this far, just send this link to somebody that loves football as much as you do, as much as I do. Help me grow. Help my wife grow. Help make this worth something that's doing for the people that want to listen to it. Enough with the extra talking. Let's get into the NFL. Let's talk about our NFL tier list. Okay, not a lot of changes. Because there was a lot of crap football last week. And I say crap football, we love all football. All football is great football. But a lot of teams that were in that middle spots that just didn't do enough for me. The only team that changed is I dropped the Packers. Another loss. Only putting up 7 points against the Eagles, losing by 10-7. A game they should have won. I moved them down to a playoff lock. They couldn't win some games, but they're not a Super Bowl contender right now. So my Super Bowl contenders, Buffalo, Eagles, Chiefs, Lions, Colts. I know the Bills lost, but they got Josh Allen. As long as they have Josh Allen, they're going to be fine. My playoff locks, Seahawks, Pats, Rams, Bucks, Packers, and then everybody else stays the same. Am I close? Am I middle? Am I bottom? Not too much movement in the tier list this week, but next week could be a major shakeup. And why could it be a major shakeup? Because this week's NFL games are awesome. This week's NFL games are amazing. There are some really, really, really fun matchups. We have 5 of them to talk about, and then we're going to get into our mid-season update. Okay, but 6-3 Bucks at 6-3 Bills, they both need it desperately. They both need this to just feel like they are top dog in their division. It's at Buffalo. Buffalo's a 5.5-point favorite. They pull it out. Josh Allen responds back for probably one of his worst games in the last 2 years. They go home. They're at home. They beat the Bucks. 5.5 is a lot, but they get it done. Buffalo covers. The 3-6 Bengals at the 5-4 Steelers. A bowl game in November. Yeah, you heard it here first. The Trash Can Bowl is this weekend, 1 p.m. at Acrisure Stadium. Both teams they need to win this for any chance of the division. The Bengals have hope. Joe Burrow, closer coming back than what people thought. And Steelers, it just losing 3 of the last 4. They beat a good team in the Colts, but they just can't win on primetime. So it's not a primetime game. It's a 1 o'clock game for this Trash Can Bowl. The Steelers, they respond. They win at home, 6-4, and they just have some hope that they can still win this division because the Ravens are coming. The Ravens' schedule is easy. The Ravens are coming. What next one is a fun matchup. The 7-2 Seahawks at the 7-2 Rams. What a fun game. The over-under is 4.5. I'm telling you, hammer that down. Take the over-under on that. 4.5, there are going to be points scored in this one. Great receivers. Puka, JSN, Devontae Adams. Great running backs, or good running backs. Kyron Williams, Chardonnay, Kenneth Walker. The run games on both teams are really fueled by their explosive pass game. Sam Darnold has not taken a step back. We like the Seahawks. We've admitted that the Seahawks are really good. But the Rams, they're the best team in that division. They're fighting to be one of the best teams in the conference. Explosive wide receivers all over the field. Stafford's better than Darnold. That is my reason why. What a fun game. I'm so excited for this one. Give me the Rams to win it, and the over-under 40.5. Cover it. Go over. It's over. Like the over-under is going to be over 40.5. The 5-4 Chiefs are at the 8-2 Broncos. Listen, the Broncos have won 8 games. The Broncos are a good team. I just don't trust them enough to win this division. I don't trust them enough to beat the Chiefs. The Chiefs are alive in the AFC West. They need some help. They need to win games. This is a must-win for them to win the division. This is very much a must-win for them to be in the playoff picture because 5-5 is really hard for them to just keep digging out of. The Chiefs go to Mile High, though. They win this one. I think the Broncos are good. They're just not good enough to win these games. And then a Sunday night football game for the ages. 6-3 Lions at the 7-2 Eagles. The Eagles just keep finding ways to win, but the Lions can control the narrative of being one of the top dogs in the NFC. Them and the Rams are the two teams I like the most right now. Dan Campbell's been calling the plays last week. The offense was the most explosive under week one of him doing that. Everything clicks for them. I think they win in Philly. I think they win in Philly by a good amount. I'm not saying by 21, but I think that they control that game. The Lions really go to Philadelphia, and they show the Eagles kind of like, what's up? Here we are. All right, our last segment for the evening, okay? Our NFL midseason update. We're about the halfway point, not exactly halfway, but halfway point enough to where let's go back. Let's talk about where I was right, where I was wrong. So we'll do where I was wrong first because I'm willing to admit when I'm wrong. I'm willing to admit when I said something stupid. I'm willing to admit when I was just plain dumb. I'm willing to admit when I made takes that I just thought were going to be good takes and they were just not. And the first one was I thought the Commanders were going to be the best team in the NFC. I thought they were going to win the NFC East. The Eagles weren't going to repeat, and they have been bad. They've been injury-plagued. Even when Jayden Daniels is healthy in place, he just doesn't look as good as he did last year. Adding Deebo Samuel, adding Larry Tunsil, the offense being as explosive as I thought it was going to be didn't matter. Dan Quinn's defense just hasn't been Dan Quinn's defense. The Commanders are in a tough spot right now. They are a bad team just trying to survive this season and see what next year brings them. I've said it every single week. The Niners have surprised me. I say it every single week. They are a better team than I gave them credit for. It is a system that Kyle Shanahan runs. It doesn't matter the injuries. They are going to be competitive in games, so they are going to win games. They have done that. They're not elite, but they have done that. They've won games that they should. Texans, what a dumpster fire. I had them win the division. I had them 12-5, and I had the Colts at 6-11. Swap those two. The Colts are going to finish 12-5 or better at this point. The Texans are going to be 6-11 or worse at this point. I thought that division was going to be theirs. And obviously the Colts have really responded. Have been a great team. Jonathan Taylor's been great all season long. And then my last, where I was wrong, was saying the NFC North is the best division. What a freaking joke. The Steelers are a bunch of clowns. The Ravens are a bunch of clowns who are probably going to win the division because, again, the schedule for them has just become so easy, and the Steelers can't seem to get out of their own way. The Bengals are a bunch of clowns. They can't do anything without Joe Burrow behind quarterback. Even with him at quarterback, they can't do anything because they can't protect him. And then I had the Browns going 8-9. The Browns I had going 8-9, and they are just a dumpster fire. They're a bunch of clowns as well. The AFC North is not the best division in football. The AFC North is a clown division in football, and the Pittsburgh Steelers that I root for are part of the ringleaders of that clown division. But where I was right, I said the Rams were going to be good, and I meant it. I knew they were going to be good. I knew they were going to be Super Bowl contender type of team. I really, really like what the Rams are doing this year. I like the offense. Adding Devontae Adams has just made Puka better, has made Stafford better, has made the run game better. Devontae Adams is the red zone guy, and Puka just does all the dirty work down the field. I thought that the Chiefs were going to play well, but not the Chiefs themselves, but the Chiefs wide receivers. And every single week, the Chiefs wide receivers just improve and look better. And I'm including Kelsey in that, like the whole unit of wide receivers of Rashee Rice, of Hollywood Brown, of Xavier Worthy, of Travis Kelsey. They've improved every week, and because of that, Mahomes plays like Mahomes used to. Mahomes is playing like Mahomes did when he had Tyreek, running down the field butt naked. Like he would just throw it to him. And because of that, Mahomes and the offense has been so explosive, it just matter kind of getting out of their own way sometimes. But because I think that they are peaking, they're going to finish the season really, really strong. And I thought the receivers for the Chiefs are going to be a bright spot of this NFL season, and they absolutely have been. I said the Bucs were going to win the NFC South easily. There's times when Atlanta looks like a team that can compete, when Atlanta looks like a team that can be okay and do some things, and then they go and they just lose to the Panthers, or they lose other games that they just shouldn't lose, or they can't compete in games that they should be competitive in. The Bucs, they might lose this week and be 6-4, but I really still just trust the Bucs to be one of the best teams in that conference, and the division is such a dumpster fire between the Saints and the Panthers on the rise, but the Falcons just can't get out of their own way. The Bucs easily win the NFC South. I said at the beginning, and I still mean it. I was high on Seattle. Like, I wasn't high on Seattle as much as I thought that I was high on Seattle, but I had them at 10-7. I had them, originally in the playoffs, but right now at this point, like, they could finish 13-4, and it's gonna be like last year with the Lions and the Vikings, where it comes down to the last week of the division. Who wins that division? And I'm not saying that they play each other and they're going to both be 15-2 or 14-2, but one of those two teams is going to have a lot of wins and not be, the leader of that division. I like the Seahawks. I really like that offense. JSN is he's an Ohio State guy, so I might be a little biased in some ways, but they're darn near a lock to be in the playoffs, and they're going to win a lot of games. Same with the Pats. I said the Pats are going to be 11-6. Originally, they have every opportunity to still be 11-6 or better at this point. The fact that the Steelers beat them still just blows my mind. They can win the AFC East. Like, there is a path where they're winning the AFC East, and the Bills are on the road. And then I both had the Chargers and the Broncos at 10-7. Those were two teams I was high on in the beginning. Obviously, the Broncos have 8 wins already, so they're really close to that. The Chargers, they played really, really well against the Steelers. They didn't play so hot the week before. I had them both at 10-7, still missing playoffs. Based on what the playoff picture is right now, like, obviously Denver is going to be in, but those teams I was high on from the beginning, so I'm really proud of those hot takes that they were going to be good. And then lastly, just kind of looking at the awards and who I thought was going to do what. Originally, we'll start with the MVP. I thought it was going to be Jayden Daniels. I thought he was going to have that breakthrough sophomore season, the Lamar Jackson, the Patrick Mahomes sophomore year, lead his team obviously to a playoff spot. I've said this many times, he has absolutely not. Right now, I think it's Jonathan Taylor's to lose. He probably won't win at the end of the day because they don't give it to running backs, but he has scored 3 touchdowns in 4 of the last 5 games. I mean, it's unreal, the production that he does for that team, and the Colts are a good team who's won a lot of games. He should be in the conversation, but if it's not him, Mahomes gets another one. Mahomes finds a way to get the Chiefs victory, gets them to win the division. He's thrown for a lot of touchdowns. He's thrown for a lot of yards. Mahomes is going to have the stats. Mahomes is going to have the storyline, all those things that people love. If it's not Jonathan Taylor, it's going to be Patrick Mahomes. My O player of the year, I originally had Jahmyr Gibbs, and not that Gibbs has been bad by any means, but there's just been a lot of guys that have just done a little bit more. JSN, okay, so fast, so shifty, so explosive. He's the heartbeat of that offense. He's on pace for record yardage in a season or something, or catches or whatever one is. And then Puka, he's my choice if he doesn't miss any more games. If he misses no more games, it's Puka, just because of the production overall, the number of catches, the yards after catch, all those things that JSN also does. I just think Puka's a little bit better with it. But I like JSN if Puka is not healthy, Puka if he is healthy. My D player of the year I originally had as Max Crosby, just trying to go with a different name than the Garretts and the TJ Watt, than the guys that had been getting it. Yes, Garrett's having a good year. I will be willing to admit that, but I can't give it on a team that he had 5 sacks in one game. Great game. Not taking anything away from him. But I've also watched games where he doesn't feel like he's doing enough. Will Anderson is my pick for it. My current defensive player of the year. He's been the bright spot of the Texans. Their defense has been the bright spot. He's leading it. He just feels like he's in on every play. He's explosive. He should be the guy that wins defensive player of the year as of now, halfway through point of the season. My next two, my offensive rookie of the year was Travion Henderson. Obviously, it was a homer pick, but I saw the explosiveness in the preseason, and obviously we knew what he was before the season started. But he didn't start off the year hot. He didn't get the ball a lot of times. Didn't fit in the offense. He is now. He's been explosive. Last week, best game of his career so far, but just not enough production early on. Now, if Igbukah stays healthy, it's him. It could be Dart if he stays Jackson Dart if he stays healthy. Jackson Dart didn't obviously start the season, but because of the production just these last few weeks and being a quarterback, those guys are the guys that get that award. But if either one of those two guys misses any more games, Igbukah or Dart with his concussion, and who knows if he could just stay healthy and puts his body in harm's way. If not, then it's Tyler Warren. Great production from a tight end, obviously within that offense, does everything that's asked of him. And I was talking to somebody. The Colts, Jonathan Taylor's really good. Daniel Jones played really well. But the receivers, the Josh Downs, the Alec Pierce, you guys know they're the receivers. The third guy, can't think of his name. None of them are A receivers, but they're all B receivers. And they all on any single day can have 5 catches for 65 yards and touchdown. And then one of them might not for 2 weeks and then explode for 7 catches for 85 yards and 2 touchdowns. Like that's what their offense has been. But Tyler Warren has pretty much been consistent. Him and Jonathan Taylor, consistent. So offensive rookie-wise, it's going to be easy to say Tyler Warren if those other 2 guys miss any more games. Defensive Rookie of the Year, I had Abdul Carter. I'm going to stick with Abdul Carter. It's the only one that I'm going to say that I got right to start. Other than Coach of the Year, I also said Vrabel. I'm going to stick with Vrabel. But Shane Steichen and obviously the Colts, like when the team doesn't have expectations and they go exceed expectations, that's when they get playoff or that's when they get awards. And this is one of those where they're going to get the awards that, come with that. Vrabel, I thought the Pats were going to overachieve, and that's why he was my pick at the beginning. And so I'm going to stick with Vrabel right now, but Shane Steichen has a chance. He's not too far behind. And the last little recap of it, just teams that I thought would suck that didn't suck. We've said this many times. The Colts, the Niners, those teams that I thought would suck playoff teams that I thought that would be really good that do suck. The Steelers are one of those teams. The Ravens, who knows with what the Ravens really actually are or not. I thought the Texans, those are the teams I thought. The Bengals I had in the playoffs originally, like those are the teams I thought were going to be really good that end up sucking. And teams I knew that would be good that everybody else slept on. We kind of already said it. The Pats, the Bucks, and the Rams and the Lions. I mean, the Rams, everybody expected to be okay. The Lions, we knew were going to be good. So I'm not taking credit for the Lions. But the Rams, people didn't have us going as far as I did, I think. So my original AFC Championship game was the Chiefs and the Steelers. Oh, my God. What a stupid homer, man. I'm just so dumb sometimes. And my original AFC Championship game was the Lions and the Rams. So here we are halfway through the season. Okay, I'm going to adjust my AFC Championship pick. It's not going to be Steelers Chiefs anymore. I'm going to go Bills Chiefs or Ravens Chiefs. I don't know which one. I might even go with Colts Chiefs. I just know it's not the Steelers anymore. And then my NFC Championship game, I'm going to keep the same. It's the Lions and the Rams. The Chiefs still make it back to the Super Bowl. They beat the Steelers. They beat the Bills. They beat the Ravens, the Colts, whoever you want to put into it. But I had the Lions originally in the Super Bowl. I think the Rams are really good. I think the Rams are really explosive. They're a really fun team. I think in the NFC Championship game, the Rams get it done. They're the 1 seed. I had them as a 1 seed. Then I keep them as a 1 seed. The Lions lose in SoFi to the Rams. The Super Bowl becomes the Chiefs and the Rams, and that is a fun game. Instead of Chiefs-Lions, where the Chiefs won, I'm going Chiefs-Rams, but I still go with the Chiefs to win the Super Bowl. Until Patrick Mahomes doesn't do it, I'm going to go with Patrick Mahomes. I'm a Patrick Mahomes guy every single time until he proves that he shouldn't be, and he's playing good enough football to where he's going to make sure that it gets done for them this year. All right, here we are at the end of another beautiful episode of the Sable Standard Podcast. God, calling my own thing beautiful is clown show. Hey, if you guys have made it this far, I really appreciate it. Thanks for always giving my show a listen to. If you've made it this far, do me a favor. Please do me a favor. Leave a review, leave the comment, leave whatever, okay? But go to the TikTok or go to the Instagram page and give me your top 10 suggestions. What list do you want me to hear, okay? Do me a favor. Go find Kelly's Facebook thing, Olive and Moon Candle Co., okay, give her a like. Be ready for her candles to drop. Buy that gift for that special person in your life, that special lady in your life. And remember, if you don't support, it's because you don't love animals. I really trying to get these history things done. High school football is we are in a special time right now. Okay, not going to talk too much about all that because this is not the place for it. Okay, but special time. Once that season is done, then we can get focused on the history show. Need Kelly to still make that logo. She'll get it done. I promise. First guest in 2 weeks. I'm really excited. Thank you all for giving this episode to listen to. Remember, if you love sports, share this with somebody. Remember, we are just trying to set the standard around here. Like Mike Tomlin always says, the standard is the standard. I don't know for him what the standard is as for Pittsburgh Steelers football. I know that the standard for us, we're just trying to grow and grow. Appreciate all of you. We will let Jamal Williams take us out as usual.
Because if you go piss like a puppy, stay on the porch and let the big dogs eat.